So I recently ranked Golden Age WWF wrestlers. I tried to find one for Jim Crockett Promotions, Golden Age Jim Crockett Promotions, early WCW. I couldn't find one. I did find this ultimate WCW slash JCP tier list. It's the ultimate tier list of everyone on the JCP slash WCW roster from 1983 to 2001. This tier list includes wrestlers, managers, announcers, and referees. 371 people to rank. My chair is squeaking as usual. Let's get to it. Fortunately, it looks like this is in alphabetical order, so it's not just random. So if I can't recognize somebody, I can try to figure out who they are by their place in the alphabet. So first up, we have Too Cold Scorpio. Actually, I'm just going to take a screenshot of this for the thumbnail. There we go. Too Cold Scorpio. Not a fan. Nothing personal. This is nothing personal unless I say it is. But I just, when a Too Cold Scorpio match would be on, I'd be, finding a comic book or flipping the channel. Abdullah the Butcher. Um, C, average. I believed he was crazy. I believed that he was from the Sudan. He was, what do they call him? The madman from the Sudan. But I mean, other than that, just like, oh, okay. Kind of a one note gimmick. Now, this one, I can't figure this out. I thought it was Asia, but Asia is here, I believe, between Arn Anderson and Avalanche. I don't know who this is. I don't know. It looks like it's latter day WCW. I just don't know. I don't know. So we're just not gonna rank her. AJ Styles. This is early AJ Styles. Not interested. This is what's her name? Is it Akira Hokuno? Not interested. Here's another one I don't know. Has to begin with an A. This looks like I have no idea who that is. I wish if you hovered over the pictures, it would tell you. Al Perez, not a fan. Alex Wright, not a fan. Alexandra York, the future Marlena, not interested. Angela Mosca, not interested. D. Now here we go. Yeah, Animal, Road Warriors. If you weren't around in the 80s, if you weren't growing up in the 80s and don't know who the Road Warriors are or how fucking over they were, you just won't know. And the Road Warriors were over. You believed the gimmick. Amazing. I prefer Hawk over Animal, but that's beside the point. Animal S tier. So fucking over. Arn Anderson, again. I've been rewatching old Jim Crockett Promotions, World Championship Wrestling. What was the other one? Worldwide Wrestling from 85, 86. This guy, now, I've always been an Arn Anderson fan, but his promos are so underrated. This fucking guy, yeah, he didn't look like fucking Ric Flair or Hulk Hogan, but his promos, I would say he gave better promos than Hulk Hogan. Top 5 on the mic, Arn Anderson. So this is Asia, D. I'm assuming it's Asia. Avalanche, I didn't care, D. This Baby Doll. Yeah, she wasn't that great on the mic, but she had a look. I'm not gonna hate B. I mean, she for that time, that mid '80s Jim Crockett Promotions, she was an essential ingredient to the Tully Blanchard. I don't want to say mystique aura. Yeah, B. She, did it. Bam Bam. So Bam Bam appeared in JCP in the late '80s briefly, and then appeared in WCW late '90s, early 2000s. I really can't rank his JCP presence, but late '90s, early 2000s WCW didn't do any favors for anyone. With that said, I mean, it's still Bam Bam. It's still Bam Bam. He had the look, and there you go. Barbarian. Uh, I always thought the Barbarian should have been a world champ. Maybe not in the NWA or WWF, maybe the AWA or one of the promotions that sprung up in the early '90s, like the UWF or the GWF. He had the size, he had the look. I'm a Barbarian fan. One note, yeah, probably, yeah, but he had the look. Marin von Raschke, I never was a fan. Barry Horowitz, he was a jobber. I think they gave him a gimmick in the mid '90s. I'm trying to remember his WCW work, and I can't. Unless it was that mid or the late '90s WCW. I just don't remember him being in WCW. I remember him being in WWF. Barry Windham in the '80s. Awesome. When he returned in WCW, I'll give him a B. Put him in the B tier. Big Bubba. Now, if we're going with the '80s when he was Jim Cornette's bodyguard, C. I mean, anybody could be in that role, but it kind of fit. When he returned in WCW, D. D. Sorry, not sorry. So this one, I don't know who this is. That was Big Bubba, and upcoming is Big Josh. I don't know who that is. Was he one of, was that? I have no idea. I have no idea who that is. Big Josh, again, early '90s WCW. Eh. It's funny. It's early '90s WCW. I would say 90 to 91 ish. Had some gems, but was overall wanting to be too much like the WWF and just didn't work. Late '90s WCW, we're talking the end of the NWO, post NWO. It was just a train wreck too. It was the '90s for WCW were bookended by train wrecks. Big Sky went nowhere. D. The former Ahmed Johnson. He was what was he? Big T or something. I don't remember him being in WCW. But then again, in the late '90s, early 2000s, I really wasn't watching much wrestling. I was in college. I had other interests. So I don't remember him. Big Vito, not, I mean, again, this is nothing personal. And it's just the way the characters were portrayed in WCW at the time just was not good. Bill Dundee, not a fan. This is fuck. Bobby Duncombe? Again, I'm not a fan. This, I don't know who that is. Oh, is this because Billy Kidman is next. This is shit, I can't think of his name. I can't think of his name. I vaguely remember Bill Kazmaier. Is that him? Yeah. D. Billy Kidman, not a fan. Billy Silverman, the referee, maybe. Again, I mean, having a referee on here is stupid, but whatever. This is I know who this is because I've been watching him. Um, damn, damn, who? Oh, fuck! It's I always want to say Killer Brooks. It's not Killer Brooks. That's somebody else. It's he feuded with Ron Bass. He was managed by J.J. Dillon. Oh my god, I am drawing a complete blank. Had some matches with Terry Taylor, Ron Garvin. Let me just set it down. Oh, it's Black Bart because up next is Black Blood. Black Bart. Black Bart. Fuck. I believed him. He's pretty good in the ring too. Black Blood. Again, one of the early '90s WWF light WCW characters. Blackjack Mulligan. I didn't see enough of him. I mean, see, I put him with Abdullah. Blitzkrieg, and I'm not a fan of the Luchadors. Bob Armstrong, Bob Orton. Now we're talking early '80s JCP. He was all right. He was better as Roddy Piper's bodyguard in the WWF. Who the fuck is this? Okay, so that wasn't Bobby Duncombe. Where I had this guy. This is Wild Bill Irwin right here. Again, D. Where did it happen? Oh, we're doing this out of order. Bobby Duncombe. Who was this? Bob something, right? Bobby. I don't know. I don't know who that is. Bobby Eaton, one of the greats. The only thing that held him back was his mic skills. But I guess when you have Jim Cornette as your manager for a good portion of your career, you don't need mic skills. You need to be. Bobby Fulton, not a fan. Again, I'm not saying I'm not a fan of the person. It's just the character when they were in JCP or WCW at that time. Bobby Heenan, great. Can we rate my chair squeaking? Bobby Heenan. This might be controversial. This is Bobby Heenan in WCW as a commentator. B. Without Gorilla, without even Vince McMahon or Gene Okerlund, Bobby Heenan was still good, but something was missing. WCW kind of changed people. Now, who is this? I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Oh, Bobby Jaggers, maybe? If that's who it is, and I think that's who it is. This guy. I don't know who that is. It's before Booker T. No idea. No idea. Booker T. Booker T in WWF was, or I'm sorry, at that time WWE was better than WCW Booker T. With that said, you could tell Booker T had something, that X factor, but it was WCW, and they just they fucked it up. Brad Armstrong, not a fan. A referee, and not gonna rate. Bret Hart in WCW, one of the biggest missed opportunities in wrestling history. I think had Hogan and Nash not been in WCW, I think Bret Hart would have been handled better. C. Brian Adams in WCW, I mean C. Brian Knobbs, not a fan of the Nasty Boys. Not a fan. Brian Pillman. So this is kind of weird. So Brian Pillman as Flying Brian, I would rate a D. Borderline C, not a fan. They turned him heel. Hollywood Blonde Brian Pillman, oh, he goes up a little bit. Loose Cannon Brian Pillman, well, before he was the Loose Cannon. Yeah, we're gonna give Brian Pillman a B. Great baby face, great heel. British Bulldog in WCW, another missed opportunity. WCW in the late '90s was just saturated with talent. Where are we? We're here. Who is this? Who is that? It's before Buddy Landell. Buddy Landell. Decent on the mic, but just kind of got tiresome after a while. See, Buff Bagwell, not a fan. Bugsy McGraw, not a fan. Bull Nakano in WCW, I vaguely remember that, but not a fan of women's wrestling in general. Buckhouse Buck, eh. Butch Reed. Him and Ron Simmons as Doom in the early '90s. Underrated. Underrated. And I'm just a sucker for Butch Reed for some reason. Buzz Sawyer, I've been watching his stuff, heard a lot about him. Kind of overrated, honestly. Cactus Jack in WCW was something else. B. Yeah, he wasn't quite legendary yet, but he was on his way. Carl, whatever. I mean, come on now. So it's a B. I don't know who this is. Oh, no, we're in the C's now, right? Yeah, I don't know who that is. This is this Chris Youngblood? I don't know. I'm gonna assume it is. D, yeah. Chavo Guerrero, D. Chris Adams in WCW. I remember and thinking, wow, that's pretty neat. He could, be something, but it just kind of fizzled out. Chris Benoit, I think Chris Benoit came into his own in WWE. Uh, he was just kind of mid. And honestly, I mean, Chris Benoit was mid. He didn't have good mic skills. You see one Chris Benoit match, you basically have seen them all. Referee, I can't think of his name. Chris. I don't fucking know. He's a referee. Get the fuck out of here. Chris Candido, he showed up in WCW. Again, a guy. I mean, WCW was just saturated with talent. Just got lost. Chris Jericho. I'm not a big Chris Jericho fan. Talk about mid. I always thought he was mid. He is good on the mic though, and that kind of saves him. But again, nothing special. Chris Canyon. Again, WCW at that time was just saturated with talent. If he was in a smaller company, maybe, but it just didn't do it for me. I don't know who that is. Looks familiar. Is that Christopher Daniels? Because he was in WCW, right? Yeah, he's a D. If I barely remember him, right? Chuck Palumbo. I had a look. They were trying to push him. See? Is it Ciclope? Ciclope. Again, Luchador. No. Colonel Rob Parker. Just an annoying manager, and that wasn't a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Who are these two? I don't know who these two are. Oh, is this why are they so these are C. Before the Colossal Kongs, there are I don't know who these guys are. No idea. I don't remember them. Colossal Kongs I vaguely remember, but again, they weren't around long enough to do anything. Crowbar, eh. Kurt Hennig. Kurt Hennig in WCW. His whole angle with the Four Horsemen, they turned him I don't know what you would call it. If you join the NWO, do you turn heel? Do you turn face? You just turn NWO? Seemed like a waste. I play these wrestling simulation video games, and I book them better. I book Kurt Hennig better. He deserved it at that time. Could he still go? Yeah. I mean, he wasn't Mr. Perfect. Still, he was over, but he was WCW'd. Is this? Yeah, this is Daphne. Um, eh, eh. This is Damien. Eh. Who the fuck is this? I don't know. Is this Dan Spivey? Skyscrapers? Um, and Starship, whatever he was, Coyote, Eagle. He was a big dude. Skyscrapers. Okay. It's a D, guys. D. I should know this. I just don't. It's not popping out. Not popping out at all. So this next guy, hello, has a title. The fuck is that? He's coming up as David Flair. This is Dave. I don't know. He's got the world title, but that's not a champ. That's not a world champ. I don't know. David Flair, yeah, nah. He's, the ring announcer Dave Pinzer. Again, I mean D. I mean, what the fuck? You're a ring announcer. You're not gonna be doing anything special. Uh, Squire Dave Taylor, was he Squire? Yeah. Diamond Dallas Page. Never a fan of that. Diamond Dallas Page. He got over despite being in WCW. Give him a C. He was all right. Dean Malenko, I throw him in the Chris Benoit category. Just kind of like came into his own in WWE, but he's a mid wrestler. He's just mid. Deborah, she didn't really do much for me. The Demon, the Kiss Demon, didn't do much. Who is this? Is this Dennis Condrey? He was all right. He was one half of the. I don't want to say the original Midnight Express because there were different versions of it. I feel bad putting him lower than Bobby Eaton, but Dennis Rodman and WCW, not a fan. Dick Murdoch, he was a big redneck. I mean, kind of hard to fuck up that gimmick. The Rebel Dick Slater, so we'll give him a C. I mean, he appeared in JCP and WCW several times in different eras of the company. So he's just C. The Disciple, aka Bruce Beefcake, did nothing special. Disco Inferno, nah. Disorderly Conduct, no. Oh, who is this? So that's Dory Funk Jr. This is Don Kernodle. You notice how we haven't just a few S tier, right? No A's. This is WCW. And we haven't really gotten to many JCP people. Dory Funk Jr., I haven't seen enough of his stuff to rank him. But I mean, he was NWA World Champ. But again, see, Dr. Death Steve Williams, late 80s NWA. This guy, he made me believe that he was a badass, and he probably was a badass. Oops. Who is this? Coming up next is Dustin. Who is that? I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. So Dustin Rhodes in WCW. Early 90s. Yeah. Kind of a generic baby face. Late 90s he showed up. Kind of Did I say Dustin? Dustin Rhodes, yeah. Dustin Rhodes is Goldust. That's his gimmick. As just Dustin Rhodes, Give him a C. Dusty Rhodes, S tier. Enough said. Dutch Mantel, honestly, kind of D. We're in the E's now. Eddie Gilbert, again, I haven't seen enough of his stuff, but I mean, what I have seen isn't really memorable. Eddie Guerrero, again, came into his own in WWE, but mid. Just mid. El Dandy? No luchadors, guys. Oh, Hijante? No. Oh, Elix Skipper? No. So Miss Elizabeth. Well, I don't think she was known as Elizabeth in WCW. I think it was well, maybe she was. It was her fucking name, right? Let's see, it's Elizabeth. Can't hate too much. Eric Bischoff. So Eric Bischoff as an announcer, D. Eric Bischoff as the what was he in the NWO? I mean, he was the WCW president, but was he the leader of the NWO or the spokesperson? I'm gonna give it a B. But after the NWO and the late WCW, when he came back with Vince Russo as the co-commissioners or whatever the fuck, that was pretty abysmal. We're gonna give him a B though. Oh, what's his name? What's his name? Watts. Eric Watts? No. Ernest Miller, not a fan. Ernie Ladd? Evan Courageous? No. There's a lot of D wrestlers here. D talent. We're in the Fs now, I believe. That's, or are we in the Fs? Yeah, I think so. Fatu from the Samoan SWAT team, I believe. Yeah, nah. F. I don't know. This is Fireman. Was it Chip or something? Get the fuck out of here. Who the fuck is this? Fit Finlay. Again, a wrestler who came into his own in WCW or in WWE. WCW, I mean, is this one of the Nitro girls? Maybe Fire. I don't know. Gary Hart. Gary Hart. You know, if I gave Bischoff a B, if I put him in the B tier, Gary Hart's got to be in the B tier. The JTEX Corporation. I mean, Gary Michael Capetta. He's an ring announcer. What the fuck? Nobody cares. Gene Okerlund worked in WWF. I'm not. Yes, he was employed in the WWF, but he worked. It just he was an essential ingredient. WCW was kind of pointless. And honestly, you know, he just kind of faded out from WCW. But I mean, it's Mean Gene. Where are we? So this is a G, right? The fuck is that? He's got a title. It looks like a US title? I don't know who that is. If that was Gene Okerlund, this is what's up next? The Giant? I have no idea. I'm not gonna rank him. I don't know who that is. The Giant. It was WCW. He can't again. His career and his character, his abilities, everything went to the next level in the WWE. Give him a C. Glacier. Goldberg. Well, had they not fucked up Goldberg, I would put him S tier, maybe A. But they fucked him up. They fucked up the character and the storyline, and it was just WCW dumpster fire. As it is, Goldberg he's the A tier. He had the fucking X Factor. Even if they fucked him up, he still had the X Factor. Borderline legendary. Gordon Solie, you may be surprised to hear this from me. He was overrated, guys. C. Great Great Kabuki. See, he had that look. He had the gimmick with Gary Hart. Good shit. Great Muda. Again, they brought him back a couple times throughout the 90s. Ruined it. Ruined the mystique. Great Muda. Had they not brought him back throughout the 90s, I would have given him an A. But they brought him back and it just wasn't the same. They didn't know what the fuck to do with him. Great Muda is a B. And that pains me because Great Muda was fucking awesome. You know what? A. Because I'm thinking of when he was awesome in WCW. He's A. Yeah, fuck. Fuck that. I still don't know who this is. I don't know who that is. Greg Valentine. So in JCP, he was A. When they brought him back briefly in WCW, not so much. But it's Greg Valentine. I wish there was a B minus. Put him in the middle, right? JCP, he was great. His cup of coffee and WCW, not so good. I gotta put him down. Let's see. Hack, hardcore hack. Not a fan of that. Harley Race. So he wasn't in WC. Oh, he was in WCW as Vader's manager. Well, he managed a couple of others too, but mainly Vader. And of course, NWA champion JCP. B. But I reserve the right to make him an A. Put him in the A tier. If I watch more of his stuff, more of his manager stuff. The Harris brothers, I guess. We don't need that. Hawk, Road Warrior. We got to put him next to his boy there. S tier. Hawk was Hawk. Hawk was something special. Who is this? I don't know who that is. It's an H, right? Hector Garza. Hector Guerrero. D. That Hector Garza. I don't know who that is. Hurricane something, right? Hurricane Castillo. Am I making up names? Fuck it, D. I don't know. Hollywood Hogan is so Hogan's only on here once, I believe. So it kind of pains me he's only on here once. Is he on here? Let me look for W or W. HU. Yeah, he's only on here once. Hollywood Hogan. S tier. I mean, when they brought him in, he was still Hulk Hogan. And he still was Hulk Hogan. But, the mystique was gone. Hollywood Hogan, S tier. Hogan in general in WCW, S tier. S tier. Honky Tonk Man, it was weird seeing him in WCW. But I mean, he didn't do shit. Horace Boulder, D. Hugh Morris, D. Is this Ice Train? D. Ivan Koloff. Again, that JCP run. He fit the gimmick. He fit the role. He was a B. I would say an A, but it was a one note thing. And I think they turned him face and kind of ruined him a little bit, but whatever. Jack Briscoe, I haven't seen much of his stuff. Jacqueline, D. I mean, again, one who did better in the WWF. Where are we? We're here. Oh, so this is the other. It's Jacques Rougeau. Barely remember him in WCW. D. James Mitchell, D. Jamie Noble, D. Oh, fuck is that? Jack Victory, maybe? Nah. Jay Youngblood. I don't, not memorable. Jean Paul Levesque, D. Jeff Jarrett. I want to like Jeff Jarrett, But as a wrestler and a on the mic, not that good. Not, and when I say not that good, not that special. Nothing stands out. And he was pushed to the moon in WCW, which killed it for me. Is this Jerry Briscoe? I assume. Again, the Briscoes, eh, they did what they had to do, right? Who the fuck is this? Jerry Flynn? Yeah, no. Nasty Boy, Jerry Sags? Not a fan. Jesse Ventura in WCW as a commentator. Again, it was neat seeing him in WCW after seeing him just nail it in WWF, but there was something missing. There's just something missing. Jim Cornette, S tier. One of the best managers ever. Jim Duggan in WCW, you know, never a fan of the patriotic Jim Duggan, the gimmick. And in WCW, eh. Jim Neidhart in WCW, again, eh. I think he was there, was he 2 different times maybe? I don't know. This is Jim Powers. Yeah, not a Jim Powers fan. Jim Ross in WCW or JCP. Again, better in WWF. I put him C. You know, I never was a Jim Ross fan in the beginning. Jimmy Jam Garvin. So Jimmy Garvin and JCP before he joined the Freebirds, probably a B. When he was in the Freebirds, it was just like, you're trying too hard. C. Jimmy Hart in WCW, C. Jimmy, the Boogie Woogie Man Valiant. Oh God, why was he so fucking over? D. Get the fuck out of here. One of the Young Dragons. D. J.J. Dillon. B. B. Oh, who is that? Joe Gomez? Who the fuck is Joe Gomez? I don't even remember. I vaguely remember. Jumpin' Joey Mag. Oh, these are fucking jobbers. Who is that? John something? Johnny Ace? Yeah, no, not a fan. Johnny B. Bad, not a fan. Not a fan of Johnny B. Bad. Johnny Canine and Jobber, right? That's a John something. Johnny, I don't know who that is. It's pretty jacked. Don't know who that is. Don't know who that is. That's one of the, was it Mamalukes or whatever? And not a fan. Johnny Weaver, not a fan. Oh, Jushin Liger had a fucking look. His Japan stuff was better than his American stuff. Give him a C. The fuck is it? Oh, Hoovitude, not a fan. Junkyard Dog in WCW was weird. It didn't do much. Yeah. Kamala in WCW again. Great gimmick in the WWF. A borderline S tier, but in WCW, just Another J. I don't know who that is. Very lanky guy. I don't know who that is. Another one of the young dragons there, I assume. The fuck is he? Who are these people? Oh, are we in the K's? Is that Kendall Wyndham? Yeah, he's a D. He's no Barry. That one of the Mamalukes, was it Johnny something? Johnny, there's so many Johnnies, right? Actually, I don't know who that is. Oh, still in the H's? Because this is Hiroyoshi Tensan, right? Again, foreign wrestlers in WCW were kind of just there. They were kind of wasted. This Looks familiar. I just don't know who that is. Let's move on. Let's move on. Actually, no, that's Kevin Green. That was Kevin Green. Yeah, not a fan. Kevin Nash. I don't know. I don't know. Whereas Dean Malenko and Chris Benoit came into their own and got more over in WWE. I think the opposite happened here with Kevin Nash, and I mean he was over as Diesel, but in WCW, bam, forget it. But it is Kevin Nash. That will be Kevin Sullivan. We got JCP, WCW. We give him a B. And he didn't kill Chris Benoit and his family. Okay, he did not. Kid Romeo, vaguely remember. Kimberly Page, one of the hottest wrestling women ever. And that's fact. That's fact, guys. Come on. She gets an A. Was she good on the mic? I don't know. Fuck. I wasn't listening to her talk. But then Deuce, you gave Elizabeth a B. Well, or a C. Well, yeah, I mean, compare Miss Elizabeth to fucking Kimberly Page. No comparison. Get out of here. Where are we? Conan, not a fan. I wish there was an F tier. Crusher Khrushchev, JCP. Um, he had the look, but just not good on the mic, really. I don't know who that is. I don't know. Kiwi, not a fan. Now we're in the L's, right? La Parca, not a fan. Lance Storm, again, serviceable. Kind of was getting over in WCW when he like held like 3 or 4 titles, right, and renaming them the WCW Canadian Hardcore Championship or shit like that. I liked that, but then WCW ended. So Larry Zbyszko as okay, so he wrestled in WCW. He tagged with Arn Anderson. Yeah, he's okay. He commentated. He was okay. He's a B. He's a B. Larry Zbyszko, the living legend, gets a B. Lash LaRue, get the fuck out of here. Not Lance Russell, the other one, the other L. Can't think of his name. Something Marshall, right? Maybe is that the other commentator guy who passed away a couple years ago? Let me think about this. No, not Lance Russell. Lance Russell. Is it Lance Russell? I thought it was something Marshall. And he would, during Nitro, be like, oh, we're at spring break, whatever, or a party house, or Nitro party, or whatever, right? This is going to bother me. Am I going to have to cheat? I'm going to have to cheat, y'all. Fuck. WCW. My space bar. Lee Marshall. Lee Marshall. No disrespect, but D. Where are we? Are we still? So that is. I don't know who that is. I don't really care. Is that. What was his name? Lenny? Is that Lenny? Must be. Don't care. Lex Luger. Guy had the look. He could go in the ring. But they pushed him as the next Hulk Hogan. And then when that didn't work, he was just Lex Luger, B. Luchador, I don't know who that is though. Is this where are we? Is this Loch Ness? I don't know. I'm not gonna read. Lord Steven Regal, Steven Regal, William Regal, whatever you want to call him. He was always entertaining. He was always entertaining. Luis Piccoli, no, get out of here. Luna Vachon. I vaguely remember her in WCW. So just by her WCW tenure, is it D? I don't really remember. Medusa, the Maestro, no. Magnum TA. So a lot of people were like, "Oh, he's gonna be the next big star." He would have fucking floundered in WWF. And if you're gonna be the next big star, you're gonna be the next big star in every company you're in. Magnum TA was not that person. In Jim Crockett Promotions, yes, he would have been their big star. Throw him in like the AWA, yeah, he was gonna be their big star. Uh, whatever Bill Watts was running, the UWF, yeah, he was gonna like. But the WWF was a cartoon. Magnum TA was not. With that said, A, and I hate that his career ended. I hate because talk about all the what ifs. What if Magnum TA's career did not end? He would have been NWA champion. Sting probably would not have been pushed like he was. It would have been Magnum TA into the 90s. We would have probably even seen a heel Magnum TA. We might have seen headlining Starcade 90. Heel champion. Magnum TA defending against Sting. I mean, they would have pushed Sting anyway, but not so fast. The what ifs are astounding. Where are we? Where are we? That was Magnum, right? Who the fuck is that? I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Don't really care either. That's not Medeja. I don't know who that is. I don't know. Don't know who this is. You probably can't see that. Manny Fernandez, is that? Not a fan, but eh. Mean Mark Callis, pre Undertaker. Had a look, guys. He had a look. It's a referee, right? Mark. Again, a referee. Fuck. Nobody cares. Mark Jindrak was on his way, but just didn't happen. Is that Mark Madden? Fuck that guy. Give him a F, but there's no F. Mark Starr again, jobber. Marty Jannetty in WCW, I vaguely remember. He didn't last long. But I guess you could say that about just about every 90s company he showed up in. Who the fuck is that? Oh, Masahiro Chono. Again, foreign wrestlers in WCW were wasted. Um, Masa Saito? I didn't know he was in WCW. Well, if I didn't know, he's in the D, right? Don't know who that is. Don't know who that is. Ming. Ming was kind of wasted in WCW. I don't know who that is. He's got a tux and he's smiling. Michael Hayes. Michael P.S. Hayes and JCP WCW. Keeping the Freebird spirit alive in the late 80s, early 90s. The Fabulous Freebirds in the late 80s, early 90s, WCW was not the same Freebirds I love. To me, the Fabulous Freebirds are Michael Hayes, Terry Gordy, and Buddy Roberts. That's it. That's it. But it's Michael Hayes. You know, he was always entertaining. I'm not doing any more fucking referees. The fuck is that? I have no idea. Mike Awesome. Is that Mike Awesome? I don't want to. Looks like it. Mike Awesome in WCW was wasted. He should have been a. He should have stayed the big fish in the small pond that he was when he was in. Did I say that correctly? He should have stayed in ECW at that time, so he could be that big fish in the small pond. He took the money, WCW, and he was just another dude. And then they gave him that awful '70s gimmick. See, and I hate I like Mike Awesome. I mean, but WCW Mike Awesome? Nah. I don't know who that is. This could. He has the U.S. title. Is that Mike Graham? I'm going to assume that is. That's a D. Mike Rotundo or Rotunda, depending on your preference and WCW's preference at the time. Great in the Varsity Club. Captain Mike, not so good. Then he came back as VK Wall Street. I hate to do this, but C. C. I forgot. Where are we? Oh, this is that fuck, I can't think of his name. Mike Sanders, C. Mike Tenay. I'm not a big Mike Tenay fan at all. I don't know who the fuck that is. I don't know who that is. Missy Hyatt. Missy Hyatt. Not a fan. Not a fan. Miss Madness. The future Molly Holly. Again, another one who was better in the WWE for whatever reasons. Just I guess because WCW just sucked. Oh, testing my lucha skills here, my lucha knowledge. Don't fucking know. I don't know who that is. Nick Bockwinkel was the commissioner in WCW. Come on. Not for long though, but it's Nick Bockwinkel. C. Who the fuck is this? The NWO? I don't know who that is. Nikita Koloff. God damn. Another what if. I think he kind of left wrestling when his wife got sick in the late 80s. He was Goldberg before Goldberg. He had the look. Do you want to talk about? Okay, so Magnum TA, we talked, would not have been a big star everywhere he could have gone, right? Nikita Koloff would have been a big star everywhere. If he landed in the WWF in the late 80s, can you imagine this guy? This guy was the fucking Rocky Four Drago, like the real thing in wrestling. And then they turned him face and kind of is like, oh, okay. A, borderline S. Had he stayed in wrestling, he might have had, his another moment to shine, a career defining moment. Norman Smiley, I hate to do this, but D, not a fan. This was Norman the Lunatic, not a fan. I hated that chick. Hated that chick. Hated that shit. NWO Sting, that was kind of a neat gimmick. Could have done a little bit more with it. Who the fuck is this? I don't know who that is. He has a title. What does that say? Oh, is he supposed to be Oklahoma? Yeah, no. Get out of here. Ole Anderson. Ole Anderson as a heel. Oh my God. Yes. As a face, he could still be a face. He was an ass kicker. I'm gonna give Ole Anderson an A there. He made me believe. One man. Oh no, Sir Oliver Humperdinck. I don't hate Sir Oliver Humperdinck. What a name, right? C. One Man Gang. So One Man Gang, was he in? I'm trying to remember. He was in WCW, but it was like that Dungeon of Doom time. We'll give him a C. Pains me to do that, but oh, where are we? Where are we? Is this? Are we in the P's already? Paisley? Don't care. Is this Pat Tanaka? I mean, in WCW, it wasted, right? Del Wilkes, the Patriot. Guy had the look. I mean, god damn, even in the WWF. But it just didn't happen. And I hate that. If there was another big company in the 90s and he went there, he would have been their top guy probably. And I hate doing this because he had the look, but see, it was WCW. Where are we? Paul E. Dangerously. We'll give him a B. B. So I think that's fair. Paul Jones. I'm not a Paul Jones fan. Paul Ellering, the manager of the Road Warriors. Without Paul Ellering, there would be no Road Warriors. Like he was part of the formula, an essential ingredient. But eh. I know it doesn't make much sense probably. Paul Orndorff in WCW. I mean, Paul Orndorff will always have the look. I mean, shit. B. Paul Roma had a look. I can't believe they made him a horseman. That was that was a mistake. Not the worst horseman, but really? Um, Pistol Pez Watley. I want to see him as a heel, as a face. He's crazy. He's a C. He's a C. But I do want to see his face, his heel work. P News, the rapper, get the fuck out of here. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? I don't know. Another one I don't know. Oh, Ralphie, get out of here. Ralphie, Ralph. Randy Anderson, get out of. I mean, he's a referee. Randy Savage in WCW. I mean, I think we can all agree his WWF work iconic. WCW was good, but then the NWO happened, and then he was on Hogan's side and not Hogan's side and his own side, then back on Hogan. Like it was just back and forth. You know where I'm gonna put Randy Savage, and this hurts me. This is his WCW time, right? B. B. Ranger Ross, yeah, not a fan. Raven in WCW. If it was a different WCW, probably an A. As it was, C. C. Neutered him. They neutered him. Who is this? If it's an R, I don't. Ron? I don't know. I don't know. Who the fuck is that? I don't know who that is either. Oh, is he one of the football players? I don't know. I'm just talking to my ass here. Renegade. It wasn't the Ultimate Warrior, guys. And I think what killed the Renegade gimmick was that he was brought in an attempt to mislead the audience, and that was just bad faith. I should know this guy, but I don't, so I'm not gonna rate him. Rey Mysterio, not a fan. Never a fan of Rey Mysterio. Just the way it is. Ric Flair, JCP, WCW, yeah, top tier. Come on, come on. So this is no, we saw that. We're in the R's, right? Roadblock? But I thought we saw, maybe not. I don't know his name and I vaguely remember him. I'm not going to rank him because it's not Wrath. That's W. I don't know. Rick Martel in WCW was weird to see because he wasn't the model. He was like badass Rick Martel, right? But I think he injured himself and then just that was the end of that. What could have been, right? Him and Chris Adams could have been feuding for the WCW TV title. Could have been something special, but it just didn't work out. I put him in the C tier, but it's a good C. It's a good C. Rick Rude in WCW. And then he came back as a member of the NWO in the late '90s. We're gonna disregard that. That really was, eh. But his WCW work, I mean, then Hogan came in, and that was it. It's the Hogan show. Rick Rude's an A. Rick Rude's an A. Fuck, I don't care. Rick Steiner. I'm not a big Rick Steiner fan, but when he was, not the dolt anymore, when he was a badass, yeah, he's a badass. But C, a good C, but yeah. Ricky Morton, goddamn, was he over? Was he over in JCP? And he was pretty good on the mic. Pretty good on the mic. We'll give him a B. Not a big Ricky Morton fan. I don't like the baby faces, but he was pretty good. I don't know who that. Oh, is that Ricky Santana or one of them? I'm not gonna rate him. Ricky Steamboat and JCP. Good face. Good, good, good. When he returned in WCW and feuded with Flair, very good. Then he left and he came back again. Hmm. Give him a B. It's Ricky Steamboat. I mean, oh, there's Roadblock. Yeah, that's a D. So I don't know who this guy is. I don't know who that is. Robert Gibson. So Robert Gibson, not that good on the mic. I don't like his eyes. Where are we? Rocco Rock, not a fan of Public Enemy. Rocky King. Rocky King. They tried to push him, and it just. Roddy Piper in WCW. Well, in JCP, okay, he's all right, but WWF, he nailed it. WCW, Roddy Piper was just annoying. Kind of phony. Just wasn't genuine anymore. But B. God damn, there's so many people. Ronnie Garvin, one of the worst NWA World Champions ever. I'm not a fan of Ron Garvin. But Miss Atlanta Lively, yeah, that's pretty entertaining, but not a fan of Ronnie Garvin. Ron fucking Simmons. Where did I put Butch Reed? Did I really give Butch Reed a C? Man, where is he? Bam Bam, Barbarian, Bobby. Okay. Yeah, Ron Simmons is a B. I mean, his WCW work with Butch Reed, fuck. I believed it. I believed it. Rufus Jones. Yeah, I mean. Is this Rhino? Rhino was in WCW? Is that Rhino? I am trying to remember Rhino in WCW. If that's him, maybe that's not him. Because I know he went ECW. And I don't think that's him. Or is this? Wait, are we in the S's? Is that Sabu? I don't know. I'm not gonna rate that. This is one of the Simone SWAT team people. I mean, again, it made me believe, but that's it. Saturn. See. This video is like 4 hours long. Scott Armstrong or yeah, Scott. Where are we? Where are we? Referee, I ain't right now. Scott Hall in WCW again. Where's Kevin Nash? If I gave Kevin Nash a B, Scott Hall, but I do prefer Scott Hall over Kevin Nash in terms of just charisma and look. It's a B. Scott Hudson B. You know, I am going to put the referee in D. Did I say B for Scott Hudson? That's a D. Scott Norton had a look, but in WCW, it's just generic, right? Not his fault. I don't know who that is. That's Scott Steiner. So Scott Steiner, pre Big Papa Pump, C. As Big Papa Pump, this dude was crazy, but still a C. Scott O'Hare had a look, but just it was WCW. He had a look. If WCW had continued to exist, yeah, he probably would have been a bigger thing. Oh, I forgot where we are. Where are we? I don't know who this is. Oh, is this Scotty Riggs? No, get out of here. Sergeant Pittman, get out of here. Sergeant Slaughter, and we're talking JCP, and I don't really remember watching him in JCP or seeing him, I should say. He wasn't in WCW. It's the Sarge. Give him a C for his JCP run. One of the Insane Clown Posse. I wish there was an F. Shane Douglas and WCW. So we late 80s, early 90s Shane Douglas in WCW, generic babyface D. When he returned in the late 90s as a heel. Again, WCW was just oversaturated. C. A good C, I guess. Where are we? Shannon Moore, I guess. Or is this Shannon Moore? I don't know. Sean Stasiak, right? D. Where are we? I lost the Sheep Herders in JCP. Saw some. It's good, but then I didn't see much, and there really wasn't much to see. Who is this? Sherry Martel in WCW? I assume that's Sherry Martel. Oh, right. She managed Harlem Heat. See. Shockmaster. Well, fucking A, man. Shockmaster is S tier, right? No. That moment is S tier, but as a wrestler, no. Oh god. It's memorable for the wrong reason, but oh god, I don't know what to do. Where do I put Shockmaster? In a class of his own. That's for sure. We still remember the Shockmaster, right? That moment. But the wrestler, that, I mean, he didn't main event Starcade, right? Shockmaster's a D. Is this Sick Boy from the Ravens Flock? It's Sid Vicious. Late 80s, early 90s Sid Vicious, Skyscrapers. And then when he aligned with Vader in WCW. Good stuff. The guy was fucking believable. I did not want to fucking fight this guy. That's for sure. When he returned in the late 90s, he's still Sid Vicious. He's all right. Then he broke his leg, and that was the end of that, right? We're giving him an A. Just that look, right? Sid Vicious. Yes, that is Sid Vicious. Referee, Sonny Ono, not a fan. This is one of the Nitro girls. I don't know which one. I'm not gonna rate her because I don't know which one. Stacy Keebler, not a fan. Stan Hansen, I mean, Raging Redneck, right? Did I give Dick Murdoch a C? I gave Dick Murdoch a. What did I give Dick Murdoch? Because they're basically the same character. Yeah, we'll give Stan Hansen a. I prefer Stan Hansen, but whatever. Stan Lane, sweet Stan Lane, one half of the Midnight Express, the historical, the best Midnight Express. B. Him and Bobby Ian, they were the Midnight Express in my mind. There is no other version of that team. State Patrol, come on, guys. Stunning Steve Austin. He was a fucking star before he was Stone Cold. A. He was. Just watch his stunning work. No pun intended. Oh, where are we? Steve McMichael, not a fan. When I say Paul Roma was not the worst horseman, Steve McMichael. Stevie Ray. C. Oh, good C. Put him in the C tier there. Sting. So this is another one where it's like Hogan. It's like, well, there's two different versions here. We have Sting, late 80s, early 90s, Surfer Sting, the hero, the WCW hero, right? And then we have this Sting, which he didn't change it up. He was just the Crow Sting till now. I don't know if he's still active or not. I don't watch modern wrestling. I was never a Sting fan. I thought his promos were a little scripted and forced. B. For both. Surfer and in Crow Sting. I don't know who that is. So we won't rate him. Super Cal, yeah, no. 6, not a fan. We're in the T's already? Tammy Sitch, not a, I mean, WCW was like the tail end, didn't do much. Whatever. Is that Tank Abbott? Oh, we're going to say it is. Not a fan. Ted DiBiase in WCW was fucking wasted. Totally wasted. Terry Funk. Terry Funk in WCW. Mainly that 89 and 90, right? Mainly 89. Oh, late 90s. Yeah, he showed up. We're going to give him a B. Because that was just a fucking farce in the late 90s. Terry Gordy. His team with Steve Williams, Dr. Death, Miracle Violence Connection. Pretty damn good. Freebirds, yeah, but it just something wasn't there when he was in WCW. Terry Taylor in WCW. Talk about a missed opportunity. This guy. I think the Red Rooster just killed his career. And a lot of people think that. I mean, it's probably like at this point it's a fact maybe. Let's see. Just yeah. Tex Salinger? Slassinger? Oh, yeah, no. Who I should know who that is, right? The Wall? Is that the Wall? I don't care. Teddy Long, yeah, not a fan. Oh, shit. I should know who this is, but I don't. So I'm not gonna rate him. The fuck is that? I don't know who that is. Yeah, the title. Not gonna rate him. Don't know who that is. Don't know who that is. Tom Zink. Tommy Rich. Tommy Rich. You know, like with Terry Taylor, just like could have been bigger. Could have been bigger. Could have been bigger in JCP. Tommy Rogers, yeah, not a fan. Ref, I'm not. Tony Atlas, JCP. I mean, that was he in WCW also? I don't even know. I'm not even. I don't remember watching anything, so I can't rate him. Tony Schiavone, early Tony Schiavone, JCP, Tony Schiavone, yeah, B. And then WCW, like Nitro, B. 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 Tori Wilson, guys. A lot of fans like Stacy Keebler. Tori Wilson though, Tori Wilson's hotter. She's hotter. God, she's hotter than yeah. She's a B. Fuck yeah, she's a B. Nah, she's an A. She's an A. I'm just rating on hotness, right? It's not what this should be, but yeah, she's on the level of Kimberly Page there. Tully Blanchard, JCP, yeah. But where do I put him? A or B? A or B? He was an essential ingredient to JCP in the original Four Horsemen. So that's an A. Place Tully in the A tier. Oh, can't remember her name. She was one of the. I think she was one of the Nitro Girls. I don't care. This person, I don't care. Oh, is that Ultimo Dragon? I hate to put him in the D tier, but it was WCW, man. I wasn't watching WCW for the fucking flippity floppity cruiserweights. Vader. Vader ruled WCW. Briefly, but he did rule. He was a threat. But he wasn't S tier. He was not S tier. I wish he had come back. See, WCW in the end, in the late 90s or early 2000s, was just a mess. If I was running the show, I would have tried to bring him back and kind of make him. I mean, can you imagine Goldberg versus Vader? How stiff and awful that would be. But yeah, Vampiro, neat look, but not a fan. Van Hammer, and not a fan. Who the fuck are these? The Villanos, not a fan. Vince Russo, no. Vincent, no. Oh, the other ICP guy, no. Wahoo McDaniel, or Wahoo McDaniels, depending. Um, JCP, he had it, but he was kind of a one note guy. He was kind of like, oh, that's your character, okay. But then again, I put, yeah, yeah, I wasn't a big Wahoo fan. Warlord had the look, but I preferred the Barbarian. It's just the way it is. Warrior in WCW. What a hot mess that was. See. This guy. Oh, can't think of his name. Wayne. Wayne something. I don't even remember him in WCW. Who is this? I don't know who that is. It's a chick, right? Yeah, I don't know, right? Woman. Let's see. She wasn't that hot. Oh, so we got Wrath, right? This is shit, what was his name? It was Brian Adams and you serious? Man, my memory is gone. My memory is gone. Wrath. Put him in a C. God damn. WCW. My space bar is at Brian Clark. The other Brian, two Brians, yeah. We're running out of people. We're almost done, folks. Is this, what do they call them? The Young Pistols or whatever the fuck they're called? Is that them? I'm assuming that's them. Asian guy I don't know, and this is the Zimbabwe Express. I'll put that D. So there we go. Let's see how long this video is. An hour and 19 so far. Wow. Wow. It took an hour and 20 minutes basically to come up with this JCP WCW tier list. These are people I don't know or just was that Mickey J? Was that the ref? Yeah, we'll put on that. Fuck, it doesn't matter. A lot of below average just because it was WCW and S tier WCW JCP. This is the S tier, folks. The top echelon. Animal, Hawk, Arn Anderson, Dusty Rhodes, Hogan, Jim Cornette, and Ric Flair. And just below it, the A tier. Goldberg, Great Muta, Kimberly Page, Magnum TA, Nikita Koloff, Ole Anderson, Rick Rude, Sid Vicious, Steve Austin, Tori Wilson, Tully Blanchard, and Vader. Can you imagine having a company with the Road Warriors? And I know this is JCP, so they kind of did. Arn Anderson. Can you imagine Hogan feuding with like Dusty Rhodes or even Ric Flair or Magnum? The what ifs are astounding.